What if the most interesting people in our communities, the ones who really shake things up, arrive when we least expect them, carrying, well, not much besides dreams?
It's a great question.
Today, we're looking into a story about exactly that. A young orphan girl arriving somewhere new, and we're exploring themes like imagination, resilience, and that deep need we all have to belong.
Yeah, finding your place.
And just quickly, for those of you who want to dig even deeper into ideas like these, our YouTube channel, Mindful Moments, uses AI book analysis. It's pretty neat, actually, designed to spark reflection and critical thinking.
Good resource. So this story, it kicks off with a bit of local gossip, really. Mrs. Rachel Lynde.
Ah, yes, Mrs. Lynde always knows what's going on.
Right. And she's quite surprised, maybe even a bit disapproving, that the Cuthberts, Marilla, and Matthew are adopting a boy, they think.
It immediately paints a picture, doesn't it? This community, Avonlea, it seems like a place where tradition is important, changes are noticed.
Definitely. Assumptions get made. And then, of course, it's not a boy who arrives.
No, it's Anne Shirley. You can just imagine Matthew's shock, can't you?
Yeah.
And picture Anne, small, thin, this kind of ill-fitting dress, the faded sailor hat, bright red braids everywhere, freckles.
Striking image. But the book quickly gives you another layer. It mentions her pointed chin, suggesting determination, those large eyes full of spirit.
Expressive mouth, broad forehead, hinting at intelligence, maybe?
Exactly. It contrasts that sort of, ordinary first glance with what someone more perceptive might see. It warns you, really, don't just judge by appearances.
And the moment Matthew meets her, she just starts talking. No shyness there.
Not at all. She's immediately chattering away, glad he's come, even though, as you mentioned, she had this whole fantasy about sleeping in a wild cherry tree.
I love that detail. And her worldly goods fitting in one old carpet bag. It says so much about her past, but maybe hints at her inner richness, too.
I think so. She's focused on the moment, on the connection, not what she lacks materially. And, that little detail about knowing how to carry the bag so the handle doesn't break.
Yeah.
It shows resourcefulness. She's learned how to manage, even with the difficult things. Resilience built from necessity.
Then she talks about the orphanage. Worse than anything you could imagine, she says. Finding escape only by making up stories about the other orphans.
Imagine that. Inventing stories about people around you because your own reality is too bleak. Like maybe someone was secretly an earl's daughter.
And she even suggests she's thin because she spends so much time imagining things at night. It's quite sad, but also shows how powerful her inner world is.
It's a survival mechanism, isn't it? Using imagination to cope with, awful circumstances. She's not just passively enduring. She's actively creating meaning in her own mind. It's fundamental, that need for stories.
Then they arrive near Green Gables, and she sees the avenue, that canopy of trees. She calls it the White Place. Her wonder is just instant.
Yeah, and contagious almost.
And then Barry's Pond. She immediately wants to rename it the Lake of Shining Waters because, she says, it gives her a thrill.
That's pure Anne, isn't it? Seeking beauty, making the ordinary special, personalizing her world.
She even asks Matthew what gives him a thrill. His answer about hating white grubs is quite the contrast.
Yes. It highlights their different ways of seeing the world, but it's also a connection point, that little exchange. Her renaming isn't just whimsy. It's about claiming a space, making it feel like hers.
All this time, Matthew's carrying this secret, right, that they wanted a boy. You can feel his discomfort. He's worried about disappointing her.
Yeah, you see his kindness there. He's only just met her, but he's already concerned about her feelings. It sort of foreshadows their bond, doesn't it? That quiet understanding.
Then comes the moment with Marilla. Straight to the point. What is your name?
Anne's reluctance.
Anne Shirley.
Yeah.
But then immediately, please call me Cordelia.
Oh, Cordelia. So much more romantic. It really shows that longing for something different, something grander than her past.
It's about self-expression, wanting an identity that matches her inner world, the one she's built through imagination. Even insisting on Anne with an E, it's about aesthetics, wanting things to be just so more distinguished. And Marilla's reaction, unromantic fiddlesticks, just cuts right through it.
Total contrast. Practicality versus Anne's, dramatic sensibility.
Which leads to Anne being unable to eat supper. She's in the depths of despair. The intensity of her feelings is quite something.
It really is. And for Marilla, it's probably bewildering. But Anne's feelings are real to her. It shows her vulnerability.
At night, she asks Marilla, how can you call it a good night when you know it must be the very worst night I've ever had? So direct, so honest about her pain.
It's that unfiltered emotion. She doesn't hide it. It might be challenging for Marilla, but it's authentic.
But then Matthew has his say, quietly tells Marilla Anne's a real nice little thing and suggests maybe they could keep her.
Marilla is utterly astonished. It says so much about Matthew, doesn't it? His quiet observation carries real weight. It's instinct, not just logic.
He sees something in her.
Right. Her inherent worth, maybe. While Marilla is still stuck on the original plan.
The next morning, even with everything up in the air, Anne wakes up and finds joy in the June morning. She sees the cherry tree, the orchards, the brook finds scope for imagination.
But then that wave of sadness hits her when she thinks she might have to leave, having to stop imagining she belongs there.
That mix of joy and potential sorrow is so powerful. It shows her ability to appreciate beauty even when she's anxious.
Her imagination is a gift, but it also makes the potential loss feel sharper, Hope and fear side by side.
She even says she doesn't want to go outside if she can't stay. It would hurt too much to get acquainted with Green Gables, only to leave.
That shows real emotional wisdom, doesn't it? Understanding that connection creates investment and makes leaving harder. She's learned about impermanence the hard way.
And then we see her doing it anyway, creating connections, naming the geranium Bonnie and the cherry tree Snow Queen.
Giving things a handle, as she puts it. Making them more like people. It's her way of weaving herself into the place, making the unfamiliar familiar, asserting her presence.
Even Marilla starts to thaw, just a little. Thinks Anne is kind of interesting. Feels like she's casting a spell.
That's a great observation from Marilla. Anne's unique way of seeing things is starting to get under her skin, maybe challenging her ordered world in an intriguing way.
Then on the drive with Marilla, when she might be going back to the asylum, Anne makes that conscious choice. Enjoy the moment. Focus on one wild rose.
That's resilience in action, isn't it? Choosing to find beauty even when things look bleak. It's a core part of her character, that inner strength.
And her idea of a perfect graveyard of buried hopes when she's disappointed. It's such a unique way to process sadness, making it almost poetic.
Yeah, she reframes it, uses her imagination to make the pain manageable, even a bit romantic. It's creative emotional processing.
She even finds charity for the people who cared for her before, acknowledging they had hard lives too. That shows real empathy, considering her own experiences.
Remarkable compassion, really. Seeing the humanity in others even when they didn't provide the best care. It speaks volumes about her kindness.
And you see Marilla feeling it too. Growing pity, thinking about maybe indulging Matthew's unaccountable whim after all. A real shift is happening.
Anne's presence, her vulnerability, maybe Matthew's quiet belief in her. It's starting to soften Marilla's resolve, appealing to something deeper in her.
Then they see the sea. Anne's full of wonder, imagining being a gull. So free.
But that contrasts sharply with her fear of getting to Mrs. Spencer's house, which feels like the end of everything.
Right, it shows how fragile her hope still is. The sea is freedom, imagination. Mrs. Spencer's is potential rejection, back to the unknown.
That vulnerability comes out so clearly in her plea to Marilla. I'll try to do and be anything you want me if you'll only keep me.
Oh, it's heart-pisking. Just that raw desperation for a place to belong, for security.
And she knows it requires effort from her, adapting, trying to please.
But Matthew sees beyond that. He tells Marilla Anne is one of the sort you can do anything with if you only get her to love you.
Such insight. He gets it. Love, connection, belonging, that's what motivates her. Kindness will work better than strictness.
Even her prayer is imaginative. Picturing herself as the wind, playing in the trees with the flowers by her lake of shining waters.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Her spirituality is completely woven into her imagination and her connection with nature. Less formal prayer, more poetic communion.
And when faced with plain new dresses, disappointment, sure, but then imagination kicks in.
Right. She just pictures one as snow-white muslin with lovely lace frills and 3 puff sleeves. She creates her own beauty, finds contentment that way, resourceful.
Her first Sunday school experience is also revealing, full of questions, but she holds back because the teacher isn't a kindred spirit.
That idea of a kindred spirit is so important to her. She needs that intellectual, imaginative connection.
But she's willing to recite the poem, The Dog at His Master's Grave, and she's fascinated by some lines from a hymn, yet critical of the minister lacking imagination.
It just shows her observing everything, filtering it all through her unique lens. Even in church, she has standards for imagination.
And then her immediate, intense wish to be best friends, lifelong friends, with Diana Barry.
That deep, deep yearning for connection again. A bosom friend, a kindred spirit. It speaks to that need for stability, for unwavering affection she's probably always craved.
So we've really seen her arrive, shake things up a bit, show that incredible resilience through imagination, and express that powerful longing to belong. These first moments set everything in motion.
They really do. You see, imagination isn't just daydreaming. It's a vital tool for coping, finding beauty, connecting, and that universal need for belonging. For acceptance, it's so clear in Anne's story. You start to see how one unique spirit can really impact a community.
Absolutely. If you found these early glimpses of Anne's life fascinating, do check out our YouTube channel, Mindful Moments. You'll find more AI-powered analysis there to help you think more about these themes.
And of course, explore our podcasts for other discussions like this one.
Yes, please subscribe to the show so you don't miss future explorations. Share this one with friends who might enjoy thinking about imagination and belonging.
And if you want the full story, we've put a link to purchase the book in the show notes. Highly recommended.
Definitely. And maybe leave you with this thought. Who are the unexpected people who come into your life? What happens when we embrace their unique ways of seeing the world, their imaginative spirits? Something to ponder.